Hello sir, good day to you. My name is Muhammad Muntasir Abdullah and I'm the first presenter for this group. Marxism is a social, economic and political theory developed by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. It seeks to analyze and critique the structure of capitalist society and propose an alternative model based on the principle of socialism and communism. The core of Marxism is lie in it focus on class struggle, the critique of capitalism, and the vision for a classless and stateless society. Marxism in international relations is a critical theoretical framework that applies the principle of Marxism through to the study of global politics. It provides an alternative to dominant IR theory like realism and liberalism by focusing on impact of economic structure, class dynamic and global capitalist system on international relations. Root in Karl Marx critique of capitalism and imperialism, Marxism IR theory examined how global inequity and power imbalance shape state behavior, international institutions, and the global economy. For the point of Marxism theory in international relations, economic structure drive global relations. Marxism emphasizes that the global political system is fundamentally shaped by economic structure, particularly capitalism. It argued that economic interests rather than political or security concern are the primary drive of state behavior and international interaction. In Marxism theory, economic structure, the way in which resource, labor, and capital are organized and distributed, are the foundational force shaping international relations. Marxism in international relations argue that global political system interaction are fundamentally driven by economic interests, particularly those tied to the capitalism system.
Okay, now I will present about the main factor of Marxist theory in international relations. Marxist concept focus on achieving greater good for humankind and the environment, arguing that capitalism and the modern state system are interdependent. They approach international relations by focusing on economic sector interactions in politics rather than human interactions in governance and policy problems. Therefore, Marxist ideology posits that unequal wealth distribution can lead to instability in the international order. Allowing the poor to overthrow the system, the contemporary world is divided into North and South. With the former more wealthy, individuals' potential is determined by their position in the capitalist world systems. Lenin's world system theory posits imperialism as the highest stage of capitalism, creating a two-tier social system. Wallerstein further classified the world into core, semi-periphery and periphery levels, with the periphery providing labor, raw materials and markets, while the core maintains high consumptions and security. As a result, dependence and equality are inextricably linked to capitalism and cannot be eliminated. The world system theory and the dependency theory are largely applicable to the modern world, where the poor of extensively dependent upon rich countries.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rainer Modili. Today I will be discussing one of the most significant political events in recent history, the Brexit referendum of 2016. This event not only reshaped the relationship between the United Kingdom and the European Union, but it also raised profound questions about sovereignty, international cooperation, and the future of Europe. As we dive into this topic, we'll explore different theories from international relations to help us understand why the UK made the decision to leave the European Union and what this means for both the UK and European Unions in broader political landscape. Theories such as neo-functionalism, intergovernmentalism, realism, and liberalism offer different perspectives on Brexit. Neo-functionalism suggests that cooperation in one area leads to deeper integration, but Brexit contradicts this by showing the UK rejection of further integration. Intergovernmentalism, on the other hand, highlights the importance of national sovereignty, with Brexit seen as the UK desire to prioritize its own interests over European Union policies. Thirdly, realism view Brexit as an attempt by the UK to reassert control and power, feeling that larger European Union members held too much influence. Finally, liberalism focuses on international cooperation and mutual benefit. And from this perspective, Brexit is seen as a setback for the UK economic cooperation with the European Union, reducing growth opportunity and collaborative effort. So together, this theory provide a comprehensive understanding of the motivation behind Brexit and its implication for both the UK and the European Union. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Hazeliana, and I will be talking about the main issues that has arisen during the Brexit crisis among the United Kingdom and also European Union. So the Brexit crisis has had significant economic, political, and also internal impacts. The United Kingdom's departure from the European Union has led to the increase of costs and complexity in trade, particularly in the food sector, which relied heavily on the European Union imports. The European Union has also experienced strain in areas like financial services, as London's role as the European Union's financial hub has been diminished. The political polarization and leadership crisis within the United Kingdom has further worsened the situation. The United Kingdom's leadership has been a source of division, with each new Prime Minister navigating the complex Brexit landscape. The European Union has had to adjust to the reality where one of its largest and most influential members is no longer at the table, diminishing its global leverage and influence in areas like trade, defense, and also foreign policy. The European Union's internal cohesion has also been affected. The United Kingdom's departure has created a vacuum in leadership and influence, particularly in the economic policy. The European Union now faces challenges of moving forward without the United Kingdom while managing internal divisions like countries such as Poland, Hungary, and Italy, questioning the European Union's approach to issues like migration, democratic values, and the balance of power between Brussels and national governments. So this has raised concerns about the European Union's future unity and whether it can navigate the internal changes without the United Kingdom's moderating influence. So that is all from my part. Thank you very much.
So here's the impact of international relation in Marxism theory. So let's start with economic dependency. So in Marxism, this happened when poorer countries depend on wealthier countries for their resources, trade, and also money. So wealthy countries take advantage of this by controlling the economies of the poorer countries, keeping them dependent. For example, rich countries buy raw materials, from poorer countries and sell the finished product back at much higher prices. This keeps poor countries stuck in poverty and prevents them to have their own industry. So Marxism believes this system benefits rich countries and keep the poor countries at disadvantage. So next is Marxist theory also criticized international organizations like UN, United Nations, World Bank, and IMF. So these organizations are seen as supporting the interests of rich capitalist countries. They influence global policies, trade, and economies by promoting rules that benefit wealthy nations and big companies, often hurting poorer countries. This organization help keep the global system as it is, which keeps inequality and imperialism in place. This affect international relations because they shape how countries interact and make decisions.
Besides that, class struggle on a global scale are also one of the impact of Marxism towards international relations. Marxism view international relations as a global class struggle with wealthy nations dominating poorer nations. This struggle goes beyond economic exploitation to include control over global systems where powerful nations shape institutions and policies to maintain their advantage. This limits the autonomy of developing nations and deepens inequality. Addressing this requires reforming global institutions to give poorer nations more representations and power while fostering alliances among marginalized nations to challenge domination and create a fairer global system. Besides that, class struggle on a global scale are also one of the impact of Marxism towards international relations. Marxism view international relations as a global class struggle with wealthy nations dominating. The next impact of Marxism towards international relations is focused on global inequality. Marxism argues that capitalism sustains global inequality, with rich nations exploiting poorer ones and creating dependency. Unequal trade and power in global organizations further deepen the poverty. Fair trade reforms and investment in education, infrastructure, and technology are key to reducing inequality. And the last impact is critique of imperialism. Marxism critiques imperialism as capitalism in action with powerful nations exploiting weaker ones. Colonialism drains resources and neocolonialism persists through multinational profits without local benefits. Therefore, global policies must empower developing nations and ensure fair representation in international institutions. And as for the conclusion, Marxism in international relations highlight how capitalism and imperialism fuel global inequalities by exploiting weaker nations, fostering dependency, and sustaining economic disparity and neocolonialism. It critiques these systemic issues while emphasizing the need for fairness and equity in international systems. Despite its limitations, Marxism provides valuable insight that inspire reforms to promote self-determination and sustainable development, aiming for a more just and balanced world.